Good afternoon, everybody. Naima Singletary here, billiondollarcourage.com. Today is Friday, June 17th, and I'm just grateful. I'm on a journey right now of personal discovery, and I say journey, but this isn't new for me. It's always like I've come into this and then somehow I get detoured, such as life. And then I come back into it and then I get detoured and then I'm drawn back to this personal development and wanting to connect with others so they can finally believe that they're great. Because just looking at my own self and my daily experiences, and is that it's me getting in the way. It's never the money. It's never because of the relationship. It's never because of the lack of A, B, and C. It always comes back to me. And here I am again after, I say I was probably detoured in 2006, 2007, quite frankly. Yeah, around that time. And for the last few years, I've made some strides without a doubt. I've accomplished things. I'm one of those A-type achiever types. And I always am looking for the next thing, the next project, the next thing to accomplish, the next thing to overcome. So naturally, being back intentionally in the personal development. And when I say intentionally, I mean I daily engage in activities that make me better, make me stronger, make me wiser, that tap into my vulnerabilities, my insecurities. And so now, back on this journey for the last few months, it's in beginning billiondollarcourage.com. I'm so inspired, so intensely, especially when I engage with my community. So that takes me to last night. Last night, even before last night, I had a great yoga class, and then I hosted my Breaking Through Fear and Self-Doubt workshop yesterday in San Francisco. And it was great. Two women showed up, one a friend of mine, and she brought one of her friends. And it was perfect. I was unsure to even have it in San Francisco because the venue is a public space, and I was just kind of reluctant about discussing personal issues in a public space. Public meaning anybody could come in and out as they choose. And it was just, we got a chance to, well, one woman in particular, the friend of my friend, she wrote a novel, and in the novel, it's fiction, but in fiction, she used some of her own experiences with her family that were supposed to be discrete situations, or maybe her version would be different from the version of her father, which is how she explained it to me, and how she felt some betrayal in putting this information out there. And her mom passed about almost 2 years ago. And this fear of betrayal, or thought of betrayal of the family, sort of gotten in the way of her success. And she admitted this. And just by me listening to her, really listening to her, when I say listen to her, I mean like not listen, waiting with a response in my head, not listening to figure out what I'm going to say next, not listening to her with my own background noise, or really looking at her as far as just the physical self. It's really listening to what she says, how she says it, the tones, different changes in her body when she says certain things, and if you really go, that's a whole nother level of listening. Now that is the art of listening. And when she did that when I listened in that way, while she really talked about this and this process of writing this book and what is she's feeling around and all this, basically I was able to realize that there had been this agreement, this underlying unspoken agreement in the family from childhood, that you weren't supposed to, it was like, this stays in the family. She comes from an Italian background, and that was the undercurrent. And so because that was sort of like ingrained in her from her childhood, her writing this novel was almost like a betrayal against the family. And so it really has gotten in the way of her becoming as successful as she wants to be, being a paid writer. So that was very, very powerful for me, because I was also it allows me to be able to practice my gift. I believe that's one of my gifts, is being able to really listen intently. There's a serious art to that, because we're so busy in this world and there's so much going on, that when you can just really listen to somebody, it opens you up. So anyway, there was that. And then thereafter, she and I and my friend, we went to go have dinner. And so this is the juicy part right here. This is the intention and the message that I'm hoping will come out in the way that it needs to right now. So my friend, who is so bright, this woman is so bright that people come up to her and say, "You are so bright. Your eyes are bright. You are lovely." I mean, this is the energy that I got from her when I met her. I didn't want to seem like freaky and creepish for being like, "I'm totally attracted to you right now and I want to be next to you and I want to talk to you and I want to be your friend." I mean, that's how I felt about her when I met her. So anyway, we've connected and we're continuing our friendship, and she's officially a part of my community and I love her. And she and I and her friend, the woman who wrote the novel, we're all at dinner yesterday in San Francisco. And there was a moment where I just wanted to express to my friend all these beautiful things about her, her energy, her ability to be empathetic and really feel other people's emotions and sort of mirror them in a beautiful way that helps them to recognize that whatever it is that they're feeling is okay. Her physical beauty, her eyes are bright, she has glowing skin. And so her beauty from the inside out. And I'm telling her this, I'm telling her all these beautiful things about her. And she is shunning it like it's driving me crazy, because it's almost like I'm throwing it at her and she's throwing it back at me and she doesn't even realize it. It's like I say, I'm gonna make up a fiction name. Let's say her name is Lisa. Her name is not Lisa, but I'm gonna say her name, Lisa. Your hair is lovely. She's like, oh. Or I say something like, you just have a beautiful spirit. I'm saying all these things and she's just like throwing it off. And then finally I said, excuse me. I said, you're having a hard time accepting the compliments that I'm giving you? And her friend laughs because her friend picked up on what I picked up on. And so finally she said, yeah, because when I was a kid, it was like nothing was ever good enough. And see, we've built a relationship now where we can go right to it. Oftentimes we have these very shallow relationships where we spend 20 minutes talking about shoes and 20 minutes talking about other people and 20 minutes talking about what we did all day and TV and all this other crap. We have a kind of relationship where, and this is a beautiful thing, that is the power of community that I talked about on Wednesday in my 7 steps to break through fear and self-doubt. You have to have community of people who are like-minded, who are living on purpose, and who are passionate and are making a difference in their lives and other people's lives, because you got to go to the root of things and make changes in your life. Otherwise, you are enslaved by these repeated thoughts and behaviors, and those people in your life will help keep you there, and these repeated thoughts and behaviors that are really sort of lifeless and meaningless, and you're constantly chasing that garbage and never feel fulfilled. So anyway, she finally said, yeah, because nothing was ever good enough. I was never right when I was a kid. And we were able to take that right then and there. And so I took her hand and I said, Lisa, her fiction name, I want you to take this right here and right now, and I want you to take this in. And I looked in her eyes and I told her everything I thought that was beautiful about her inside and out. And I said, when you look in the mirror, I want you to say that to yourself, because sometimes you have to, first of all, she knows she's great. I think there's just a fear in saying, I am magnificent. Like, don't you feel like a phony when you say that at first? Like when I first started this personal development journey, I felt so phony when my mentors and coaches would say, look in the mirror and say, I love me. I am magnificent. I am bright. I felt like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. But obviously, if they were brighter than I was, if they were attracting these things into their life, if they were embodying goodness, you listen to that and you do what they do, right? So now I don't feel like a phony. Now I know I do bring value into the world. Now I know I am a vessel in helping people reach into their own stuff and bring out their light, because we all have it. It's just a matter of sometimes somebody says something or does something, or we read something, or we're a part of something that triggers something in us, and we're just like, oh my God, maybe I am magnificent. And that maybe grows and grows until you actually believe it and you embody it. And that's where I am at this point. I'm on the journey of continuously embodying it, because I get afraid too. And so that is what's up with this video today. Embodying your power, embodying your greatness, embodying how sweet you are, embodying how precious and how lovely, good and bad. Here's the thing. On that Rocky clip that I love, you say, life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. You will have days that are not pleasant. You will have emotions that are not pleasant. You will have exchanges that are not pleasant. That does not diminish the beauty in you. That does not mean you are less than. That does not mean that you are second class. You are human, and we are spirits. We're having these human experiences, and sometimes you can feel like a freak when you really dig into yourself, breathe into it, and I'm getting a sensation right now. Back here, that's my power. For me, I feel it all back up in here, and sometimes all up in here in my cranium when I am just in it, when I'm flowing. And thank you. You gotta know. You gotta know. See, you have to know. No matter what anybody else says or think, you have to. When you believe it, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what anybody else says or thinks when you know. It's like when you know, as a matter of fact, unequivocally, without a doubt, there's this relief that you live, that you experience, that really is sort of like your blanket as you go throughout life and you have your experiences with others. And there's a peace of mind associated with that is so intense. And I experienced that, and I want you to experience that. So practice loving yourself. Daily activities, rituals help. Like, I like to have green tea every morning. That's like a little quiet sit down thing. The function that we attended last night with Tribal Truth, one little bit I skipped over, the facilitator had us write a dollar amount or a goal or a dream or vision on a dollar bill, and we folded it, we put it in our panties, and we did a dance. She turned on some music, and basically it was a celebration of what it is that we wanted. And then she gave us instructions for putting that money into an ATM and having a celebration around putting the money in, and having celebrations continuously. It's the same as church. When you get, for folks who are church going, people who believe in praying several times a day, it's the same thing, just her version of it. So when you engage in these celebratory acts, when you engage in these activities that lift you up, you will actually start to believe that you are great, and know that not even just intellectually, because a lot of us is like, we know we're special, but it's like living the specialness is a whole nother level of love and appreciation and value for yourself. So find different rituals that feel good to you. You know, I do tea. Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's prayer. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's writing a list of things that are great about you and reading it in the morning while you're brushing your teeth. Little things like that can become your ritual. So that's the primary topic for today. Secondly, my 7 steps to fear and self-doubt. The first step is going to be available. I decided I'm going to do like this. I'm going to go deep into the first step, which is community. And that's going to be available next Friday. And then from there, I'm going to reveal the other 6 steps to people who have interest in being involved in a program that will help them to take action on a daily basis seriously, as opposed to just having this information and sitting there on your desk or wherever you store stuff after you read it or buy it or download it. So that is the message for today. Naima Singletary, BillionDollarCourage.com. Have a great weekend, and I will connect with you on Monday. Thank you.